2020 was definitely a strange year to say the least, and the same can be said about the 2020 Ninjago wave, which in my opinion was a very mixed bag, ranging from the best Ninjago sets ever made to some of the worst Ninjago sets ever made, especially one particular set. Of course, like always, polybags and full packs won't be counted for this list since they are not sold at most retailers and are just freebies on lego.com or with the Ninjago magazine. Starting with the worst Ninjago set of 2020 is of course the infamous 4+ Kai's Fire Dragon. The dragon build itself is simply atrocious, even for the €20 price tag, but at least the printed dragon head is useful for mock building. The next 3 sets all suffer from pretty much the same problem of not being able to spin as advertised, which is really annoying, although at least the minifigures have great designs. Cole's Speeder Car is a very odd set to say the least, as it's the only 4+ set to appear in a Ninjago wave directly connected to the show, and is a fairly standard Lego car design, but at least it's a very cheap way to get Cole, who although incomplete was only available in one other set. Kai's Mech Jet is definitely one of the sets of all time. Being the first ever 2-in-1 Ninjago set, being able to be either a fairly mediocre mech or a strange dragonfly-esque jet. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of this set because both builds just look fairly mediocre, and outside of having a complete Ninjago collection, there's really no reason to go back and get this set, as Kai was available in a cheaper and superior set. Alright, hear me on this one, but the Stormfighter battle is an oddly nostalgic feeling set. I don't know what it is about this set other than the fact it's a 4+ take on Jay's Stormfighter that makes it nostalgic. It just feels like something you'd see back in the early days of Ninjago. Usually I enjoy it when LEGO gives us terrain sets, but Journey to the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon is just kinda The set is just a small incline with great minifigures, and that's all I can really say about it. Jay and Lloyd's Velocity Racers is a decent enough set that just rotted on store shelves, but for $30, this is a solid enough set, and I doubt we'll see a set like this again, especially for such a low price. The Ninja Turner card is a decent set at an angle for an awful price. This set has way too much exposed technique at the sides, hence why every promotional image, including the box art, always has an angle that doesn't show that much technique. For $40, this is very disappointing. At most, this set should have been 20 to 30, but 40, that's a bit outrageous. Zane's Minor Creature is a unique concept, but in execution, this is just an alright set. I don't feel too negative or overly positive about this set, but the lighting on the box art helps it stand out, I guess. Gamers Market needs no introduction. This set is the minifigure set. It's just an overall banger and gave us some incredible figures like Okino and Kill Bill Harumi, and finally gave us a pink Zane after 8 years of waiting. If only Legacy remade the pilot suit stuff. The Empire Dragon is a unique dragon for $30. This is not very often that we see villain dragons in Ninjago, although the back of the dragon looks way too skinny. The Legacy Bounty is a set that I'm not a fan of, to say the least. While I do think this set is a gigantic glow from the original 2012 Bounty, the technical aspects of the set just didn't work that great for me. One of the sails is permanently drooping, not to mention instructions had printing issues, which just led to an overall frustrating building experience, and in my opinion makes this one of the worst iterations of Destiny's Bounty. It definitely wasn't the worst set in 2020. Cool though, we got a Legacy Young Lloyd and a new Legacy Samurai X Nia. I may be a little biased being a big rebooted fan, but it was just so cool to get a golden rebooted Zane after over half a decade. But now we wait for golden rebooted Jay and Cole, and a golden half mask, which I really don't understand why LEGO hasn't given us them yet. The arcade pods are without a doubt some of the best Prime Empire sets, and the best gimmick sets, giving us 2 minifigures for only $10. Plus there's an easy way to get Digi, Jay, Kai, and Lloyd for cheap. The Legacy Jungle Raider is not the greatest Legacy remake out there, but as a Prime Empire set, it's really great, which I also don't understand why it wasn't a Prime Empire set. With Racer 7, or whatever her new name is in Crystallized, since it's literally the car she drives in Season 12. Still though, it's a great set, but again, I would have preferred if we also got a proper Jungle Raider. Wu's Battle Dragon just proves that LEGO can make vinyl wings work on small sets, which they haven't done since, which is very disappointing, especially with the disastrous core dragons we got last year, but it is very typical of LEGO to go 2 steps forward and 1 step back with Ninjago. But here's hoping that we get better €20 dragon sets in the future. Also gotta appreciate the cool and unique look of Hero Wu compared to literally every other Wu minifigure. Still doesn't top the Season 11 design. Temple of Madness was a set that I had a bit of a negative view in, but after getting last summer, I've gotta say this set is fairly underrated. It's an incredibly solid display piece and also surprisingly large for its price. The one place that this set definitely falls down in is the fact that this set doesn't have many spaces to pose minifigures, which is a small bit disappointing, and on a side note too, it's really weird that the red visors didn't come in that many Prime Empire sets. Especially since they appear more in the season compared to those rat enemies that were really lame in comparison. The biggest complaint I have though is about the top blades, which are way too easy to accidentally bend, because unfortunately they were bent for me within the box, so that's definitely gonna have a knock off a few points from this set, but still an amazing set overall. The best premium part set has to go to J Cyber Dragon, which really stands out compared to the other Ninjago dragons, as not many go for a mechanical look, but this set pulls it off really well. But the biggest fault this set has is the wings. They could have been a bit larger, and for the love of God, Lego, please stop making the minifigures exclusive to expensive sets. The Kai Fighter in my eyes is both an upgrade and a downgrade. While sure, the model looks much more spectacular, the fact that the wings can't really fold in all that much and the cockpit being restricted to an angle is frustrating, along with the lack of a stand, which this set desperately needs to really highlight how good it looks, and also to prevent the blades featured on the cockpit and wings from bending, even if that meant increasing the price of the set. The original Golden Mech from 2013 was already a near perfect set, which can be seen with the Legacy remake, which is just a bigger version of the set with an ugly ring for some reason, which does not fit well with the Golden White. And it's also strange that this was the only set to have a Legacy Kozu and a Legacy version of an Elemental Blade, which on a little tangent, it's still so annoying and kinda stupid that Lego only remade the Golden Weapons, and none of the other collectible weapons in Legacy like the Techno Blades or the Serpentine Staffs. But trust me, I could go on about the problems with Legacy for ages, so let's just move on. The Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, or Griefbringer, is a set that I heavily regret not getting back when the Master of the Mountain sets first dropped, because this is an incredible looking set. Just like the other dragons from the year, for better or for worse, really sticks out compared to other Ninjago dragons, which I appreciate a lot, even if it's a small thing, although the restricted wings are slightly annoying, but it's cool this set contain a statue of Lily. Speaking of Season 13 sets I regret passing up, is the Firestone mech, which at the same time is a little disappointing because why the hell is this set advertised as a Kai mech? The only reason half the mech is red is because of the lava monster they fought deep in the Shintaro mines, but even then the mech wasn't even functional after getting half covered in lava. Thinking about it too, I don't think Kai even canonically saw the mech in the show. So this just raises more questions, but it could also be due to the fact that Lego often puts Kai in coal sets to help boost sales, since they don't have a lot of faith in coal sets due to low sales compared to sets based on Jake, Kai, or Lloyd. The fact that this mech can also hold his swords on its back is super badass. Honestly, if this set was fully grey, had knee joints, and included the upley, this set would be perfect. But even still, it's a great set with an annoying flaw. The best Legacy set of the year goes to the Thunder Raider, which yes, this is down to heavy bias. Jay is personally my favorite ninja, and I've always wanted to own the original Thunder Raider set when I was younger, so when I saw this remake, I knew I needed to get this ASAP. And honestly, this set is the perfect example of a Legacy upgrade, making the original set completely obsolete in comparison. It also contains 3 exclusive Mantor variations of Legacy 2 J. Cole and Lloyd, which if you know, you know. My only complaint is that just like the original set, the sides have a bit too much exposed Technic, but still a must-have set for any Ninjago fan in my opinion. And finally, the best Ninjago set of 2020 in my opinion is the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon. Listen, this set should be used to determine if someone has good taste, because this is unarguably one of the best, dare I say the best, Ninjago villain bases of all time. For €100, this is mind-blowing. I mean, for comparison, around the same retail price is Nia's Samurai X mech from Crystallized, which just honestly reflects just how awful pricing has gone for Lego sets within the past year, and puts nearly every other Ninjago set released in 2020, hell, even the past couple of years, to shame. This set is also ginormous, and it's a perfect combination of a fantastic playset and an elegant display piece. And it also has a Bricks by Mine reference that doubles as a crockpot class theory. Although it is a shame that this set only came with 1 Awakened Warrior compared to the 6 hero minifigures you get in this set, which for a villain base, the heroes shouldn't be outnumbering the villains, but still, this right here is one of the best Lego sets of all time. If you have the space and the money for it, I really can't recommend it enough. But that's how I'd rank every Ninjago set released in 2020. Let me know how you would rank these sets in the comments, and if you disagree with any of my placements. But with all that said, see you.